Saw you.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Welcome on in, everybody. We appreciate you all hanging out with us for Questing for Glory 2, Hope and Healing. And we're going to be doing a half-minute hero, the second coming, and with Dowolff.
Yeah.
Dowolff, let's have some fun.
Yeah, so let's get right to it. Starting in, let me actually get to the place where I start from. Then, so starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fail to go into options, then I'm going to successfully go into options. I'm going to turn off skill animations so that we don't have to watch a million of them. And we'll go straight to the final boss of the first game. So this is literally the final boss of the first game, only with significantly more fancy animations for some reason. I don't know, it's like going from Final Fantasy 6 to Final Fantasy 7, right? Like, we get a lot of fancy stuff, but we also have to now watch all the animations, and we get little cutscenes in the middle of battle where the characters have to talk to each other, and it's just really not fast. You can't turn them off for this fight. We can turn them off for every other fight, and that's what we have done. So it should just be a little bit more. And there is a secret for this fight. It's that you hold down run the entire time, and for whatever reason, that just magically makes everything perfect. I forgot to do the donation incentive for my name. So we can do that as soon as this tutorial's over. So we'll just take out these tigers, and then we're told, oh, hey, there's an evil lord. He's destroying the world in 30 seconds. We're not powerful enough, but we're going to be offered a contract from the Time Goddess saying that she'll give us the power to become big and strong very fast, which is really convenient. So we'll just enter into that contract, never reading the fine print. And that was really okay. So that was not the ideal start. That's not what we were looking for right there. We did not want to die. But basically, yeah, you just sort of have the AI characters go at it for a while, and then you run into them. And now, right. So, what is the main Yusha's name?
Dowolff.
Okay, sure. I am now the
Bless.
hero. I am now the hero of this story. So
Seems fitting.
seems okay. So now we're gonna go over here, and there's a little cutscene here, and we don't want to watch that cutscene. We could just go back to the castle and make that cutscene go, or watch the cutscene to make that little trigger that says you have to go back to the castle to go away. But instead, we'll just use an item on the exact same frame as that little trigger spawns that pushes us backwards, and that causes us to skip it. Good old item canceling. So if I did that first try, I would save like 3 seconds. So you might be wondering why would we bother doing a frame perfect trick to save 3 seconds, to which I say, what sort of speedrunner are you? Save every second, save every tenth of a second, save your frames, kill these mice animals. And then also we triggered a little mystery slime to show up over here that instantly boosts us up to about 10 levels, which is, you know, convenient. So, and we'll just skip that sword over there. That guy didn't finish his sword until there's like 10 seconds left in the map, so it's a little tight on timing. Then we just get over here, and now we're going to grind a little tiny bit over here until we get up to level 29. Or 20. We're going to just defeat all these orcs. And, oh, they're trolls apparently. Whatever. We're going to get to some level. Turned out it was 28. I don't have a bad feeling about this. Okay, we didn't die. Fantastic. We've only died on 50% of the levels so far. And so now we're going to head over to the next level. But before we start the next level, we're actually going to be grinding a little bit. So you'll see that it says global G level. That's for global level in the upper left. And by... Okay, so make another step back. So this game is basically a series of very quick 30-second RPGs. Well, a lot of them are actually longer than 30 seconds in this game, but let's just say they're all 30-second RPGs. But there is a world map, and we can gain levels on the world map very slowly. But however, for all future maps, we will start at whatever level we grind up to. So I'm going to be grinding up to level 4 or so, and once I do that, we'll be starting every future map for the rest of the run at level 4. So yeah, so while I grind up, if there's a quick donation, go ahead.
I have two. One is from Anonymous for $44 that just has 2 hearts. And one from Big Daryl 86 for $25 that says, we need to have the man behind the scenes involved in this more.
Thank you for those donations. So, new level. So for this level, someone stole the goddess statue. So what is a goddess statue? Well, a goddess statue is the thing I can pray to reset time in case I run out of time. Has a really interesting functionality where it will cost increasing amounts of money every single time I use it. So it starts off at 100 gold, then it's going to go up to 200 gold, 300 gold, and so on and so forth. So if we can't reset time, it's a bit of an issue. So we're going to get that... So we could get that goddess statue back, or we could just, like, beat the level in less than 30 seconds, and that sounds way faster. So we did that little cave over there. That was a quick side quest to make there be herbs in that town, so we could buy herbs, so we could get healed, and then we have beaten the level. Who needs to reset time anyways? But yeah, so also in the meantime, this other guy who's currently named Yashu and will eventually be named whatever your nation's society will be named, was very upset at us for going to save this town that had their goddess statue stolen, because there was a mission, and rescuing this town was not part of the mission, and how dare we do other things in the mission. When we got to the very end, he came in and saved the day, because he's really secretly a sweet guy. Isn't he just? Anyway, so over here we meet Princess CL, who is definitely totally not in love with us, and we are definitely totally oblivious to all of this. But anyways, we need to cross this forest, but there's a bush in the way, and the only way to solve a bush is to set it on fire. And then the guardian of the forest is just like, how dare you set my entire forest on fire? Have at thee! And we're like, well, I guess we're just going to have to kill the guardian of the forest then. So we'll just buy some quick fire. We'll rescue our girlfriend from behind these evil bushes. Excuse me, not girlfriend from behind these evil bushes. And then, yeah, so we start a little campfire here because that lets us relight our torch regularly. I don't really understand how that works. Like, it's a torch. The torch goes out when you run out of wood. You can't just take a piece of wood from a burning fire. This is a horrible, horrible, horrible idea. But here we are, taking wood from a burning fire. And I'm only level 12. I really want to be level 13 for that fight, so we're going to not run during it. Running is basically the one big action I can take during this game. So when I run, I will drain HP at a rate that basically increases as I gain HP, so it's just some percentage of my total HP. Don't worry about it. Anyways, so, yeah, so there's a run button, makes you go faster, but you drain HP doing it. And in general, we want to go fastest. So, in general, we'd never let go of that run button. Right there, I kind of had to. Anyways, I beat the level. So right now, we're going to check our inventory, and we're going to see if we learned a skill. We learned the skill, sweet. So, what skills are, is basically now every 10th attack, I'm going to get a bonus attack. That's essentially what it does. The game uses a lot of very complicated words, like 1 in 10 chance, and probabilities. It's lying. It's literally just every 10th attack. But hey, also, anyways, on this actual level, I picked up a beast swatting net, and what a beast swatting net does is it one-shots any beast. Why is there a fly swatter that swats beasts? I don't really know. Anyways, we're on a new mission. Beast swatter is not very effective against beasts. We're just going to run away from them, head into here, where it turns out everyone is invisible. So she gives us magical glasses to be able to see everyone. I forgot to buy armor. We're probably fine. Probably isn't a big deal. Anyways, we beat up a rhino, got a secret hidden weapon. I'm going to have to play it a little safe, though, because I have less armor than normal. Yeah, anyways, so we just sort of waltz our way on down through the level. Resetting time is basically for safety there. Hopefully we'll hit level 16. Okay, we're just shy of 16, which means we'll almost certainly have the herb. That's fine. We'd like to have the herb for the next level, but it's fine. Did I buy the armor? I think I did buy the armor. Okay, never mind. I don't know. I was talking. Muscle memory is a strong thing. Anyway, so now we're in a maze. There's a secret passage to this maze, and all you have to do to follow it is just ignore the arrows. Go the exact opposite direction of all of these arrows. The arrows are lying to you. They're just pointing the way to the traps. So if we just go the exact opposite direction, we're fine. There was a bug swatting net we could have gotten in this level that would let us one-shot all of these bugs. Unfortunately, the boss of this level is not a bug, and so if we got that, we'd actually be super slow against the boss. So we kind of have to ignore it. I'm a little low on time. Okay, that was probably cutting a little close for a marathon run. Probably shouldn't do that. I feel like I've already made High Spirits angry enough at me from setup. Anyways, enough about that. More about defeating, like, this ring-throwing boss? I don't really know. Anyways, we picked up a... Anyway, so we're going to actually head right back in here. because this is the first global dungeon. What a global dungeon is, just a dungeon that you can access on the world map, and we're going to head all the way to the end of it, and we're going to open up this chest, which contains a magic robe, which is a much, much better armor than the one we were previously wearing. We're also going to get a bunch of XP off of all the spiders and bees in there. We really wanted to hit level 5 here, but it's not a big deal if we don't. Yeah, we're like one enemy short of level 5. That's actually kind of unfortunate. Anyway, so here we're supposed to like do a bunch of levels, but that sounds slow. So instead, we're going to over here, we're going to have buy an herb, talk to that kindly gentleman, and then he's going to try to make us deal with that little check mark over the left. I don't want to deal with the check mark to the left, so we just sort of item clip past it, item clip past that checkpoint over there, re-equip the beast beater thingy. I don't know why it's called a beast beater. And we're on to like 3 levels from the last level. We could actually skip this level too, but this level has a shield and it has a recruit, and we need both of them. So with our beast beat, we can just come over here. We can very, very quickly beat up all these late enemies. So we are already level 26. We just leveled 20 levels in the span of about like 10 seconds, which is a decent clip. So we head over here. We got a stone that we used to make a sword that we gave to the sword master so that he joined our party. Yay, we're now 4 people strong, counting the main character. And we'll just beat up some moles. We want to be about level 32. There we go. And then, so the new party member we got, critical hit the boss right at the start. Very convenient. And then that will let us be strong enough to win. We'll just get a quick battle on the way over so we can hit level 5. That was really nice. There were 2 enemies. You do get more XP with the more enemies there are, just like you should. But yeah, now we're going to head over to what is the penultimate level of this map. So basically, we've been defeating the 8 elements. And the game thinks that only 1 is left because we skipped a bunch of them. But yeah, so we're just going to head in here. We're going to buy some herbs. We're going to head up this tower. Now, all these rhinos are weak to our beast beater. Unfortunately, the rocks are not weak to the beast beater. But if we head over to the staircase and just go up and down and over again, the beast spawn will respawn every time we re-enter this floor. We're just going to keep doing this for a while. That's a while. Unfortunately, we ran out of health because we got so many, only 2. That was really unlucky. So now we can head over here. We can get an actual weapon that will do damage to these dragon boss. And poof, we're halfway through the level. Unfortunately, there's a second dragon we also have to beat up. So there are some secret items hidden behind these boulders. I don't really know if it's a secret. Like, there's little teleporters, and you just click on them. And then you go to treasure chests that you can see. So maybe it's not a secret. It's a tiny secret. It's a secret to everyone. Let's go with that. So you need to be at least level 39 going into this. I leveled up a little too much. 40 is fine though. Like, there's no real downside to leveling too much. We don't lose that much time, and we do deal more damage. You gain 3 attack and 3 defense for every level you get, and damage dealt is just attack minus defense. Anyways, that's the end of the level. Now the game is really confused. It's going to send us back to the same level for some reason. I don't really know why that happens. But if we just quit out of the game and then go back in, well, now we're going to respawn back at this check mark that we skipped earlier. And then we can use this warp ability to go back here, and then we're going to level up off of this enemy until we're level 10. Yeah, so grind time means donations. What do we got?
Let me refresh and double check. We have a donation from Accident for $100. Thank you so much for that donation.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, so like this spot here is actually really cool. It was found by Cha Megane, the other runner of this game and the current world record holder. I somehow completely missed that you could grind here. This gives like, what is it? I forget the exact number. I think it's 5 per enemy, which is really good. 5 XP per enemy is a very large number relative to anything you can get at this point in the game. But it is a bit of a long journey to and from town to get to this enemy, which is sort of why we're not just gonna like grind here even longer. If somehow we could like teleport this town so it was like 2 squares further to the north, we'd probably grind like another 6 levels here. But that is not the case. It is sadly not the case. Anyways, that's enough grinding. We are gonna get to level 10. We're gonna get to level 10 off of like 2 more enemies. We're gonna hit on the way. That one and oh, I guess I could have stopped one earlier. Whatever, it's fine. here. And then this is where the next level's supposed to start. If we walk there, very conveniently, the next level does just start. I don't know. Like, I'm genuinely uncertain. Like, what the heck? Yeah, I'm genuinely uncertain what the heck causes the game to work the way it does. Anyways, we've now completed the entire first arc. We'll just skip that little cutscene movie, and now we'll go on to the second arc. Anyways, so what happened when we destroyed the 8th element is our body went nuclear, and we destroyed the world. So for destroying the world, we've been thrown in jail. It's just kind of unsurprising, but it turns out that our jailer is actually evil and is just doing this as a secret plot to execute the queen. So we need to break out of jail. Which we'll do. My game is lagging slightly. What is going on? Not sure. I'm going to very quickly kill some stuff that's running in the background. Hopefully that'll help. Anyway, so now we're on to the next level. So we need to stop the execution. We're going to ask the mayor for help, because the mayor is super duper strong. Oh, just run away from that guy. And head in here. And then defeat the executioner, but unfortunately, the queen was turned into a bee, and now her dead, or excuse me, a bat, and her dead body was lying on the floor. And Yaju comes to the understandable conclusion that we killed her. So why is the game? Game still feels like it's lagging slightly. Anyways, we skip that level entirely. And just keep on running up. Head over here. Zoom past that. That was another cutscene that we just skipped. We don't, and then we'll just re-equip all of our items that we got back after escaping from jail. We're also going to have a party, and we're going to equip the Boost Hero Formation. So what a formation is if you have a full party, which means you have to have 4 party members plus the main character, you get a humongous stat boost. So we now get like plus 10 attack and plus 10 defense, just permanently, as long as we have a full party. So that is actually why we did that level with that extra level that we could have skipped earlier. It was because now we have a full party. And because we're skipping so many levels, we would have not actually recruited enough party members otherwise. Anyways, so we also beat up this lady who is a master weaponsmith person. And she's going to tell us that she can give us classes if we cut down a tree. So we cut down a tree, and now we get a class. And we will now become a fighter. And why do we become a fighter? Well, we become a fighter because, one, it gives us a huge strength and defense boost. It's becoming a theme. Strength and defense boost pretty good. The second reason we do it is because we're currently using a hammer weapon. And hammer weapons have on them skills. All weapons have on skills. And just like equipped skills, it basically will wind up increasing our damage output by about 10%. And that 10% is a lot. So if you want to have in general, you want to have your class match that of your weapon. We're going to pick up some new weapon, new armor, and a new piece of our castle, which is the thing that was on legs. We'll use that piece of our castle a little bit later. First, we have to skip some more levels. I thought this skip was on the next square, and I completely missed it. Nice job, me. This is a frame-perfect trick, which is why you're seeing me also fail it a couple times. It'll happen. This is why Chabagane has the world record. He is much better at frame-perfect skips than I am. Let me tell you. Guy is... It's just incredible to watch his runs. But yeah, so... I don't know, while I'm failing this skip repeatedly, we can talk about more of the general structure of the game, just in case people are confused, because... There we go, because we're going so fast. So basically, we have a giant world map, and sort of that world map is segmented off into about 75 levels. And each of those levels has an evil lord on it that you have to defeat within but they're casting a spell that will destroy the world in 30 seconds. That has to be said like that. That is mandatory by contract. So basically, you're running through and you're doing this little RPG. You're grinding up a bunch and trying to get super strong in that span of 30 seconds. Where shenanigans come in is that we have if you can take any action on the exact same frame as a cutscene, and that will cancel the cutscene. But like you could pause the game, for instance, but it wouldn't be very useful because if you pause the game and you unpause the game, you're still on the trigger. However, if you use an item, and you can just keep running past the trigger, and then it won't trigger anymore. So you're untriggering the trigger. Also, yeah, so that snow level, there was an avalanche, and that caused me to lose all my equipment. You really want to get that one first try, because you get that one first try, you don't have to re-equip all your equipment when you're done. But hey, it's a frame-perfect trick. You miss them. Anyway, so yeah, we're in a village where there's a criminal wearing green, and we found a person in green, but it wasn't them. We're going to have it here, and it is them! Oh my goodness, we found the criminal. So now we have to go and chase them from town to town. It's supposed to be about 4 phases of this, but first we're going to go over here and grind a bunch. Because we need to be level 37 at the end of the stage. That's quite a ways away from level 10. We're already level 19. It's a good start. We're going to buy some herbs, some weapons. Herbs in general, besides skipping levels, they also just let you restore your health to full. So, pretty useful item. Now we're going to head up here to this next town where there is a pirate hat. Yar! I be a pirate now. I apologize to any pirates that are insulted by my awful pirate voice. Yar! And then we'll just bounce down to here where we get to defeat the Vetra again, who occupied another person in green. She really likes the color green. I don't get it. Anyways, we'll just defeat some more penguins until we're level 37. We'd be higher than that. So when we hit level 37, you'll notice we got a big speed bump. So your speed in this game is basically your speed minus your weight of all your items divided by 10. That's like your speed boost in frames, if you actually like measure it out. Anyway, so that was the level defeated. So you're supposed to have to like chase her one more time, but if you like are at max speed and just start moving immediately, you'll just immediately hit her coming out of that place. It's really cool. Anyway, so we're gonna actually switch back to the other weapon because the battle axe, while having more power, does not have a weapon ability, and so that 10% boost is worth a lot. Plus, it has lower crit, so a 10% boost plus crit. We'd much rather just take our castle over here. We're gonna plant it in between these two branches, which is literally right on top of it, enemy spawn. That we can go through really quick fast. This enemy actually has the exact same XP value as the one we were defeating earlier. However, between us having a full party for all the stat boosts and the castle being right on top of it, it is significantly faster to just grind here. And we haven't actually done that many levels since we last grinded. But this is the big grind. We're actually going to be grinding at this spot until level 16, and then before we even do the next map, we're actually going to grind even more. So, yeah, if you got any donations, go right on ahead.
I sure do. We have a donation from, and I'm sorry I'm probably saying this wrong, Ixaval, giving Dowolff's lungs some respite. Thank you for that $26 donation.
Yeah, grind spots have been updated. Responding Razor Flame Kun in chat. This is most of the grind spots were found by Cha Megane, the new ones. I completely so I knew about the troll kids, I just didn't think they were worth doing. And they're not worth doing if you don't know about the other new grind spot, which we'll be getting to soon, that I just completely missed when I was doing my routing of the game originally. Because it's out of the way and you wouldn't expect it, but it gives just a ton of XP. That'll be a treat how much XP it gives. Also, the official lyrics to the first 3 notes of this song that you keep hearing over and over again are "There's a Bulbasaur." I don't make the rules, I just live with it. Yeah, but the beach spot is really good that you're referencing. The problem is that's significantly later in the game. So yeah, it's just the earlier you grind, the more levels you get to enjoy the grind on. Anyway, so once we hit level 16, we're going to be moving to the next location. So that should be just like another fight or two. There we are. So we'll just pick up this castle, and we're going to move on over here. Get this quick cheap bite. And then now we're on top of this new location. These enemies give like 8 XP apiece, which is actually the highest value before the post-game of any enemy. So like there's an hour of game left, and there's just no enemy that beats this enemy. I don't know how I missed it. Kind of a shame. Kind of a shame that I missed it, but here we are grinding on it now. We'll enjoy the fruits of Cha Megane's discovery. I don't know if Cha Megane is handling the Japanese restream, but if you are, shout outs to you. Yoshigana Geshimasu and all that. Yeah. So we're actually going to be here for a while. We're going to be... Okay, I need to pay slightly more attention, apparently, because we just died. Which is pretty easy. We are taking a lot of damage. But yeah, downsides of trying to talk super fast. Nope, it is Bulbasaur. It is 100% here's a Bulbasaur. That is the lyrics. I don't know, maybe other people have other lyrics. Chavagane probably has his own lyrics for it. Yeah, we're also not one-shotting them yet, which means that you do hear more of this music, which is weird. Yeah, we will, so these enemies have exactly 150 HP. Right now we're doing 50 damage with a crit, or with a non-crit, and 100 damage with a crit. But whenever we trigger the weapon skill, we're also dealing 100 damage off of that. So we can one-shot them either if we land a weapon skill, or if or with 2 hits, well, hit plus a crit. Because the way weapon skills work is they trigger when you hit an enemy and you don't kill it. That's what makes the counter increase, and that counter hits the max value, which is 10 for Hero Slash and 8 for Ground Pound. The ability will go off. Yeah, it's a Bulbasaur. It was a donation comment during the that run at RPG Limit Break, yes. Because even when you're using the later grind spots, it's still the same song. But I don't know, Alfina, you got anything new for us? Anything to say?
I would like to remind everybody that we are raising money here supporting NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization whose work is focused around 3 pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. Your donations go a long way to helping them accomplish those goals.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, and yeah, we are getting plenty of gold along with our XP. We are going to get significantly more gold than we can have anything to do with. But yeah, at this part of the grind, we actually get a little unfortunate. If we get a crit on the first hit, and we don't get a weapon skill, it will actually knock the enemy so far back that we have to chase after it, which is kind of unfortunate. There's no real good way around that. We can, like, equip worse stuff, but that's not great, right? So, I don't know. You just sort of go with it. Yeah. But yeah, so we are going to spend a little bit of the gold. Let's spend it right now. So we're going to buy a second floor to our castle. We're going to open up that menu, exit out, and then open up again. Now, this is because there's a bug where we don't, where you can't put your second floor of your castle on your castle until you do that. But hey, now we have a 2-story castle. We have put a castle on our castle so we can castle while we castle. Yeah, unfortunately, well, there are items we could spend an enormous amount of money getting, but they're kind of out of the way, and they get very quickly eclipsed by other items. Yeah, basically, I mean, the item treadmill in this game basically just keeps on going and going. But there are still plenty of things to buy. There are plenty of things for us to spend our money on as we grind. Oh my god. Yes, that rooks indeed. Keep the pun. Do you guys want us to start putting puns in? I have no idea how Alfina feels about puns, but I know how we find out how Alfina feels about puns, which is if you guys all start donating your favorite awful puns. So I think we need to do this for science.
I'll go ahead and throw this out there. I like a good pun. See if you can get the one that actually makes me groan.
You heard it, folks. You heard her, folks. You got it. Let's go for it. Also, should probably mention, so we switched that to the axe here. The reason we switched to the axe is that's slightly more damage, which means they are now one-hit KOing these enemies anytime we get a crit. But unfortunately, it doesn't have that second ability on. It doesn't have the ability on it, so we can't trigger abilities. And we also has a lower crit chance than these Spike Mates. So we're actually going, after getting those 2 levels with it, we're going to immediately switch back to the Spike Mates, which now can also one-hit KO enemies. And we're almost done. There's only 4 more levels to go, and then we'll be done grinding for the rest of the run. Then we go nice back to the wonderful, wonderful world of me talking endlessly and Elfina desperately trying to get fun donations in. What level am I grinding to? I am grinding to level 32. So it turns out that there's basically 3 potential breakpoints, which are 30, 32, and 35. So we could stop. So 30 is like the first point you can stop at. That seems pretty clear to stop at. But 32 winds up saving about 10 seconds or so. It's not too much, but it's a real save. And then 35, I want 35 to be good because there's a lot of really cool things you can do if you grind all the way to 35. Unfortunately, that's like another 90 seconds of grinding, and there's just not enough levels that want us to be that high level to make up for it. Very sad. It's not that it's safer. It's that it is slightly faster, because there are just barely enough levels where we need to grind up past 30 in general, that 32 saves just... It winds up saving that extra minute or so of grinding. We have about, like, 25, 26 levels to do that, to make up that time, and we can make up that time. So that's what we do. That's what we do. Yeah, so about 15 more seconds. Hopefully we'll get some more doubles. Always feels good to make this go fast. Yeah. Okay. We're about 2 more fights. Okay. There we go. Hey, I don't know why I was piloting the castle for a little while there. Anyways, we are done grinding. Gonna go over here, buy some herbs, heal up, buy another herb. Skip past this point so we don't have to... We don't want to go to the castle. Don't want to go to the castle. Don't want to go. There we go. Okay, we are through. That point just did not like me. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to jump in our castle. So the castle turns out, by stomping on these little enemies, can actually level up. So if we defeat all of these enemies with the castle by stomping on them, we're now at max power castle, now can run super fast with our double-decker castle. We are bigger than you. Stop trying to beat us up, you silly lava monster? I don't know what that is. Anyways, unfortunately, our castle's now broken, but we can recruit Roken down there. We're going to defeat all these enemies because we need the money. The reason we need the money is that so we can buy this thing over there so Rudolph will join the party. We actually need to get everyone to rejoin the party now. Then we'll just head up here. We're going to recruit Knight, who unfortunately fell into that stuff. Gonna get a new herb, reset time. Then there's an enemy over here. You need to get a special ability to trigger to beat this enemy. Hopefully it'll trigger fast. Fast, I say. Fast, I say. There we go. And there we go. So now we'll just enter this. I'm a little low on HP. Thankfully, okay, that's good. We didn't need to use the herb. We really didn't want to use the herb there because we cannot buy another herb. Well, we can technically, but it's hard. Anyways, we're fine. So we just recruited a bunch more people, some of whom we even got to see over the course of the speedrun so far. Some of them we didn't. We skipped a lot of levels. But yeah, so we'll just beat up all those guys. So we need to be about level 55 in order to beat the boss. We're actually going to aim to be level 57 to go faster. Because for level 57, we don't have to deal with this couple things. 54 is good enough. We'll just go back here, reset time. Last full course because we've eaten in every single area on this map, which is really cool that you get an achievement for that. That's what those little words in the upper right are. They're achievements. I might have to use my herb here. Yes, I didn't have to use the herb. Good. Okay, now we're going to go in here. I have to press start every time a fire appears in order to cancel out the being burned animation, which is surprisingly hard to do. Hey, now we're at the boss. We can use the herbs. We now run against the boss. We can't actually die here. We are now invulnerable. But hey, we beat the boss. And we've now beat the second story, which means we've beaten the final story for Yashu. On to the next story, where we get to play as Yushia. Or as we'll be calling it here. Pause for host.
Checking for refresh. Looks like Hercule. Hercule.
Okay. Yeah, so after entering her name, I'm going to immediately pause the game so I can equip the hero's, not the hero slash ability, the ground stomp ability. And also, I'm going to set a formation. So normally, you wouldn't be able to do either of those things quite yet. you shouldn't be able to access that menu until after you beat the second level of her mode. But there's exactly 1 frame during which you can just press start right there and equip that stuff right then and there. Makes you a little bit more powerful for this. And doesn't really lose any time because you have to do that menuing later anyways. We're just going to heal up on that little heal circle. And now we are the Musketeer. Musketeer gets to use Gunblades, and Gunblade is the item you see in your hand. Gunblade is, of course, a completely unique weapon that has never been seen in any Final Fantasy VIII ever. Speaking of Final Fantasy VIII, we also have the Sniper from Final Fantasy VIII in our party. Don't worry about it. We also have Luca from Chrono Trigger in our party. Yeah. Welcome to this parody of an RPG. It parodies RPGs. And we just ran around and defeated a bunch of bricks so that we could build a bridge to the boss. There was actually 2 ways. We could have also built a tunnel in order to get to the boss who's just been defeated. So after defeating him, that tunnel gets built anyway. So we'll take the tunnel back to the base, and we'll go over here. We'll try to... Somebody stole our precious jewel that we want to wear to a party. That's actually the plot. I'm not just making it up. So we have to get 10,000 gold in order to charter a boat to chase after them. So in order to do that, we need to get a job. So to get a job, we're going to head up here. We're going to go in here. We're going to need to kill a lot of monsters. We're going on a hunting party. We're going to go over here first because here and only here, if we defeat an enemy with the ability, we will not get any gold for defeating that enemy. So we had to do the easy. So there's 3 dungeons here. There's the easy, then medium, then hard. And for the first round, we had to do easy, then hard, then medium. Because we do it in the other order, we will kill all the hard enemies with our skill, and we'll get no gold. And that would be super sad. We would have worked for nothing. And that's just never worked for nothing. I feel like that's a good rule to live by. Just if somebody's getting paid, you should be one of them. So I want to get paid. We're teaching this rich girl, Hercule here, that you always should get paid for your work. Anyways, we just made 10,000 gold in about 30 seconds. That's pretty decent. I want to make 10,000 gold in 30 seconds. Why won't my company pay me in gold and pay me in that amount of gold per second? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so now we're over here. We need to very quickly defeat all these evil spiders in order to get... we're basically doing that for money. We're also going to get our sacrificial hat from that enemy there. We got plenty of money now, which lets us buy these sacrificial shoes. We also found out that this guy wants a fish. We're going to get him a fish. And then he's going to go, thanks for the fish, you now have our clothes. So now we're at 75% sacrificial maiden. Though we can take the place of the sacrificial maiden that was going to be sacrificed to the spider enemy. And then defeat the spider enemy. I swear it makes more sense if you're like actually reading the script and not just hearing me say it at 5,000 miles an hour. Anyways, we've now completed both of the 2 quests that we need to do before chartering the boat. So now we're going to charter the boat. And like every boat in every either East game or half-minute hero game, it immediately sinks, and now we have to play underwater. So there's a trap there where you're supposed to have to do a bunch of things, or he'll just before he defeat you. But we can item cancel this. Now this is probably the hardest item cancel in the game because it's on a different timing and everything else, because we have to be in a level walking instead of on the overworld running. Because if we're running in there, have it non-max HP, and if we have non-max HP, when you use an item, you actually use it, and then we have like 1 shot at skipping it, and we don't want only 1 shot at skipping it. So it's just completely different timing. Makes it kind of hard, but we got through it pretty quickly. Now we're getting stuck on this new one. Also, you would have noticed that we got the achievement without breathing by doing that, which I think is just perfect. Like, obviously perfect. Like, welcome to Half-Minute Hero. There we go. We got past the level. We got past the level after the level I was talking about. Just as I finished talking about it, I'm going to pretend that was on purpose. We took a little bit of a weird path there because it skips a cutscene that we don't have to item cancel by doing that. Anyways, we have to do this level because if we don't do this level, they won't finish building a bridge that will take us to our next level. So for this level, we're actually going to just like run over all these enemies until we have a bit more money. We're going to reset time, and run over 2 more enemies, then we're going to head over here, buy a shovel that lets us excavate God. And you might be wondering, who is God? It's the castle, all double-decker of it. So we reset time because there's an avalanche coming, and this resetting time isn't the time for the avalanche, so just put our castle all the way up there. And now that we've got the avalanche, the beastmen will do their part. Didn't mean to do that, but now the beastmen will do their part, and so we just run over here to the boss, and the beastmen will be on top of the boss, making it defeatable. If we didn't do that, despite being massively overleveled, we would not have been allowed to beat the boss. Very, very unfortunate. But we beat the boss, which is fortunate. Now, coming up next is one of my favorite levels in the game, Long Bridge. This is a super cool level where you have sort of a rival, Althena, is in a UFO dropping stuff on us, and there's an alternative path we can take with a boat. in order to explore an island with really cool stuff, but we're so over leveled that we just sort of defeat everything on the world map and just go straight to the boss. So defeating enemies on the world map works a lot like Earthbound. So if you're just a high enough level, you just immediately defeat things on the world map and you get all the XP and gold from them they would have gotten normally. Very, very convenient. Anyway, so now we're on a new level. There's an enemy tank, Goliath thing, I don't even know. It's throwing mountains at us. That sounds painful. We're gonna skip it. We're gonna buy some really cute new shoes because, oh my god, love buying cute new shoes. And then we're gonna do a quiz. I played this game casually back in like 2012, 2011. It's a really long time ago. So I don't remember what any of the questions are, but I know the answers are 2, 1, 3, and 4 in that order. So now we're the quiz queen. Yay! We also had an old man join our party. Yay! That means we have a full... It's actually yay, because now we have a full party. Now we get the formation boost. Unfortunately, we went up to the Emperor, who sort of accidentally spawned this evil tentacle monster. Because we're in an anime, and we're a girl, so the enemy spawned the tentacle monster. I'm kind of sorry. I don't get it. I don't get why we do this. I don't know. Anyways, we just set up the bomb, and now we're just actually stuck here until the tentacles get close enough to us. Then the door will open, and then we can finish off the boss from behind with a one-hit KO. If we had touched the tentacles at any point prior to that, it would have been an immediate death for us. But we didn't, so we're good. Anyways, on to the next continent. I like the background music on this continent. You have to skip a few levels. I actually really like the battle theme for this section of the game, too. It's really kind of cool. What they did with this game is that they actually had different composers come in for every for every different theme, and just sort of everyone just does their own thing. So like Motoi Sakuraba did a whole bunch of stuff, who you might know from the Tales of series. You have Yoko Shimomura, who you might know from Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, plus also this little known game called Kingdom Hearts. I can't skip that level. I need to actually play this level, but good job skipping on your first try the level that you have to actually play. Yeah, no, it's just super cool. Like, the soundtrack is a super cool who's who of big people in RPGs composing back when this game came out in 2010 or so. I forget the exact year. Yeah, it originally came out for the PSP. We are, of course, playing the PC version because that got an English translation. And I feel like y'all would appreciate being able to pretend to read text as it goes by at 1 text frame per 2 seconds. Buy some stuff there. I need to heal up because we're not... Actually, I don't need to heal up. Whatever. I healed up! We also no longer have a full party because of shenanigans. We're going to fix that real quick. And now we're entering the Mirrorverse. So the Mirrorverse, things are not symmetrical, and we need to make them symmetrical. Yeah, I got nothing. So, defeat that enemy, and poof! Symmetry! Mirror defeated. By defeating a mirror, we actually defeat one of the copies of the boss. So for each mirror, there is a copy of the boss. We're going to defeat this one here as well. So now we've defeated 3 out of the 4 copies of the boss. We're level 34. That sounds good. So just heal up real quick and then go straight into the boss. There's 2 of them! God! Anyways, now they're gone. Unfortunately, I can't read chat right now because the screen monitor I had chat on decided to go into sleep mode. But anyways, so there were 3 levels here. We could have actually done them in any order, but you have to. But by doing those 2 levels, you spawn the exit point for the continent that's past the 3rd map. So you don't actually have to do the 3rd map. And then this one we just don't have to do at all. Period. So just skip right on past it. Now we get to go into a really cool level called Time Egg. So on Time Egg, there's a bunch of little grinding sections down to the south. The first one's filled with little unis. So we'll just go in there, defeat all the urchins. Sure, whatever. And then now we're high enough level to beat these 2 bosses. There's one to the right, and then there's one to the left. Now the Bird of Paradise, it could tap for any color of it, but it could not survive us. Now we get the quick cutscene. Got to talk to everyone real fast. Then we actually traveled back in time. We also got a dragon egg somewhere along the way. So we went back in time, dropped off the dragon's egg in the past, then traveled back to the future, and our dragon spawns. So now we get to ride on a dragon. And the question, of course, everyone is at the game asked us is, would you like to ride a dragon? And I'm like, yeah, I want to ride a dragon. That sounds awesome. Unfortunately, our dragon is kind of newborn, so he kind of ran out of energy. So we need to find a nice, cool leaf for him to recharge his batteries, so to speak. Do dragons have batteries? I don't know. Probably. Yeah, they hoard all the gold, and there's golden plugs, so they probably wound up with a battery even by accident. I sent her the wrong way. I have to reset the level. That's the fastest way to do it from here. So Althena has decided to join our party at this point, and we can send her to go either to the east side or the west side, and we want her to handle the east side points, because there's 4 points on the map that we have to destroy. We send her to the east ones. And we handle the west ones, because the west ones involve riding a dragon, and I want to ride the dragon. I'm a very simple person. There's a dragon, and I want to ride it. We need like one more enemy. There we go. And then just head on up here. Bounce over here. Althena defeated the 2 on her side, and we defeated the 2 on our side, which means the things guarding the Imperial Castle have been destroyed. Also, there was an Imperial Castle that we're getting into. However, there's still one last enemy that we need to defeat. So we're going to just head on in here. Defeat these first 2 enemies, and then we'll immediately heal up using this heal point. You have to get all the way through this area and defeat a big boss at about the midpoint, as you do. There's also some really nice equipment, like that one right there. So that was a new shield for us, because we haven't got a new shield in a very long time, as it happens. I'll just reset time for safeties. Get some cool new Regal Guard armor. And fight the mini-boss. We actually want to be like super low HP when we win. Nice. Okay, now we go on this enemy, and it's going to Death Ward us back to the beginning, where we buy a new herb, and we're also out of that area. Now we can just go right in here. This is the final area. Now there were actually 2 sides to this castle that we're supposed to destroy. Now, we only defeated one of them, which is why there's still that little line of sparks in front of our face. However, that only takes off half of our HP, which means we have a full 50% of HP left in order to just sort of casually walk into the boss. Don't retry. Please just defeat the boss. Anyway, so now it's defeated. I'm going to pause for like a half a second so I can get chat back up on my monitor, because that seems productive.
While you do that, we do have a donation from Jacob. For $100, it says, "What do you call a horse that lives next door?" A neighbor.
That's okay, but I think we can do better. I think we can do a lot better than that. I heard 0 groans from Althena there, so we got to do better. We got to do better.
I think we can definitely do better.
Anyway, so now we're on to Hero 300. So we have 300 seconds. Oh no, oh no, no, no. Okay, I missed the fast cycle. That's actually kind of unfortunate. But hey, we have 300 seconds divided into 5 sections of 60 seconds. And unfortunately we missed the fast cycle, which means we have to wait here for the next bird to come back, because we have to jump across these birds in order to get to the boss, because... So we rode the dragon past the first part, and that was pretty cool. But unfortunately, then the dragon got shot down. So the dragon's recovering now. The dragon is fine. Don't panic. Dragon is fine. The dragon... No, we don't have to call PETA. Dragon is fine. But well, now we have to just jump across the birds. So, you know, this does lose about 20 seconds that we didn't get the fast cycle. That's actually really unfortunate. One of the things that is true about if we had gotten level 35 is that getting fast cycle is free, which is kind of nice. Like I did say earlier that it wasn't about safety, but it does make the run a little bit safer right there. That's just a really sad time loss. Anyways, we're going to find out here about the Purity Crystal. So the reason why we fought the boss but didn't actually defeat him was because we did not have the Purity Crystal. So we have to come over here. One of these crystals is going to be the Purity Crystal. It's that one. Now we have the Purity Crystal. So now we get to fight the boss. Again, and this time we will surely defeat the boss. Nope. We just got kicked off to another new continent. Unfortunate. We're going to run past this guy. We really want to keep this herb here so that we can use it a bit later. And just sort of keep on running through this area. We don't want to get in too many fights as it happens, because we do need to get up to about level 57 or so as the target. Okay, we're going to be a little above that. So the reason we save the herb is for this fight right here. so that we don't have to grind even higher. We'll be completely fine at level 58 with an herb, basically free. It's a decent chance we won't even need to use the herb. We lost that chance, we're going to need to use the herb. Oh my goodness, it was a double KO. I don't know how the game keeps a double KO there. Yeah, because we died to his last attack. Does it actually... Okay, I think the game counted as me beating it. That's pretty good. So, yeah, so we can go to the boss now. He's just like, ha, as if the purity crystal would react. And then it reacts. Yeah, so we're good. So we have now defeated the Emperor. And made him feel shame. And he goes, oh god, I morphed with evil and am now destroying the world. This is probably a mistake. And we're like, yeah-huh? But, so now we have to get off this continent because it's held up entirely by his magical power. And now it's falling apart, Metroid style. We're going to go to the end of the map where it's just like, oh no, we left the geezer behind to hold the boss back while we escaped. And, we're just like, we should wait for him. And we're like, nah, that's like waiting for a whole minute. We don't want to do that. So now we're on to the next mode, and we need a new name for Yuja.
All right, and that name is going to be High Spirits.
Capital S?
No.
Okay. Sweet, that barely fits. Good job. So yeah, so High Spirits now is the coolest person on Earth, at least in his mind. He has a stick, he has a theme song, and he really likes lemon pie. I don't know why he likes lemon pie, but he keeps asking for it in his song. Like, yeah, no, right there, he's just asking for lemon pie. Anyways, we're a little over leveled, so we just go straight to the boss. So, yeah, we're so over leveled. The next map of the level, we're supposed to actually unlock the Spearman class, which covers most of the weapons we'll get across this chapter. I don't want to be the Spearman class. You want to know what's better than spears? Gunblades. So we're actually, first we're going to try to skip that cutscene right there. We did, excellent. It's not too long of a cutscene, doesn't trigger a level or anything, but it's nice to skip. We're going to equip all this cool equipment. And so now we're just using this Dragon Head Gunblade, because I don't understand why this is a Gunblade, but it is. We're going to come here. We're supposed to, there's 3 paths, one for the Magician class, one for the Fighter class, and one for the Spearman class. So what we're going to do is we're going to just turn the Gunblade and just beat the level anyways, because we're that over leveled. So we're going to beat up that stone with our excellent Gunblade abilities, and then we'll just beat the boss, and hopefully we won't need to use the herb. Perfect, we barely didn't need to use the herb. So which means we now get to use it to do our level skips to the next continent, because we have some level skips coming up. Also, Ku joined our party in the cutscene we skipped. So Ku is the last singer. Let's call her that. So this is a really unfortunate one to skip because I have to actually exit the level if I fail it. Yeah, so Ku is the last singer, and the singers are the only people with the power to pierce. Okay, another step back. So after defeating the previous story, that magic continent, floating continent we were on, it crashed into the ground and opened up a passageway to the underworld demon world. I forget what the game calls it. And so the demons are, so everyone's just like, oh no, we opened a path to the underworld. All the demons are going to come up and try to take over the world again. And the demons come up and say, no, oh god, please no. We've tried this like 3 times. It's failed every single time. We're done trying to take over the world. And we're like, and humans are just like, cool, want to have a beer? And the demons are like, heck yeah, we want to have a beer. So everyone's just leaving it in peace and prosperity. Then the gods come down and say, no, this will not do. We must have a battle between good and evil. So now we're fighting the gods in order so that we can have peace between us and the demons. So that's the plot. Now back to Ku. So Ku is a singer, and she... Well, let me actually... Yeah, so Ku is a singer. She has the power to pierce these magical barriers called Sanctuary that all of the gods can set up. So the gods sent an enemy to attack all of the singers with a giant light that would just destroy their ability to sing somehow. However, Ku is blind and therefore is invulnerable to light attacks. No, I mean, you know, they say that you want to have a diverse workforce, right? So Ku is the only remaining singer. She's now going to journey with us singing a song every time we get to bosses so that we can damage them. Pretty convenient. Anyway, so that was a cool underwater level. You're supposed to, like, unlock this, a map that will tell you the path that you're supposed to go on. But I just know the path, so I can just take it like a boss. Anyways, up here, up ahead, this is a level where we recruit actually our Oh god, I meant to exit the map, not retry it. Where we recruit our second party member, who is a nun, who really reminds me of the nun from the ripoff church in Black Lagoon, which is a fantastic anime. So it's just like, you know, like you got the nun in the ripoff church who's just like acts like this a super polite nun at times, and then just suddenly starts swearing when nobody's looking. And so this nun, she basically goes like, okay, you gods better get out of our way and stop making this volcano explode so that we can defeat the evil lord. Amen. And except she's using, you know, much ruder vocabulary. And I love her character so much. But we skipped that entire level. And now we're on to the next level, where we are now playing Monster Hunter against Yashu. We are going to, against Yashu. And now we have proven that High Spirits is superior at Monster Hunter to Yashu by hunting more monsters. So it goes. Anyways, next up we have to go into the mirror world, where we're gonna have all of our controls flipped, which is like really awful. I'm very bad at controlling with our controls flipped. Thankfully, it's not too hard, and then the controls flip back, and then we're going to go here. We're just going to let that enemy run into us. It's holding a key that will let us unlock this door up here. And then we're actually going to just basically ignore all these enemies on the way. If we get into them and beat them, that's fine. Ignore the mines, ignore that minefield, just go straight to the boss. I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little worried. We're a little low on health. I think I'm good, though. I'm less sure I'm good now. Okay, we're good. Sweet. So now I'm going to run over here to the left. There's a little town here called Dowolff. We're going to say hi, Dowolff. Bye, Dowolff. I promise you that was for a reason. But first, we need to take this boat over to another continent. We're going to equip the Beast Speed again, because guess what? It's coming up. There's an enemy that we have to hit with our Beast Speeder because it's a beast. And for those of you just tuning in, the Beast Speeder is going to one-shot any beast-type enemy. Unfortunately, we're also being attacked by a giant castle. Which is not weak to Beast Speeder. It will just step on our heads. But you know what it is weak to? It is weak to Forest. That was that cutscene we was going to skip there. But it's also weak to an even bigger castle. Let's go. Also, in other news, so you might be wondering why the goddess is now a robot in this area. So the actual goddess got turned evil by accident. So now we have to rely on a robot goddess instead. Yeah, that's the whole plot. I got nothing. Anyways, we're going to grab that giant axe. We're going to switch to the fighter class because, again, that gives us access to the bonus skill that you have by being the fighter class with a fighter weapon. For that little extra bonus power. Also, while the musketeer class is super sweet and makes us move ultra fast, it doesn't come with any attack or defense buffs. And those are the best buffs. Unfortunately, so this level has the gimmick of that from 20 seconds until 10 seconds. There's a giant blinding light that we can't see through. So we go one past, and then we go right. And the light ran out. I went a little slow there. The light ran out as I made it past the minefield. I was trying to navigate basically blindfolded. But I want you to all pretend that you were impressed by me doing it through the minefield blindfolded. And also by beating the stage with only half a second left. Cutting it a little close. We did get to keep our herb, which is really convenient. Anyway, so now we actually get to go through a giant area of skipping levels. We don't do any of the next, like, 5 levels. Hopefully. High Spirits just doesn't want to play this game, apparently. Unlike Dowolff. Dowolff's arcs, we get a much higher percentage of levels than in High Spirits arcs. High Spirits just wants to skip everything. He just wants to play some Dragon Quest. I'm pretty sure that's just actually the answer. He wants to get out of here, play some Dragon Quest. He's wondering why he didn't, like, accept more Dragon Quest games. Like, if he wanted to, this entire marathon could have been Dragon Quest games. And I think that was really charitable of High Spirits to, like, let other games besides Dragon Quest be in the marathon, because he didn't have to do that. Love you, High Spirits. Anyway, so we went back a little bit to that Dowolff that we went to before, which lets us get a time stone, which lets us recruit all the characters from the first arc of the game into our party. And also gives us the boost all skill. So now we have a full party, which means we get the formation bonus. So if we, like, because we're skipping so many levels, we just, like, never recruit a party normally. So we have to do that just to have a party so that we can, like, actually get our formation bonuses and just also have the bonus characters. They also deal damage. Believe it or not. I can skip this level, believe it or not. Francisca does really want to join the party here. So interestingly, Francisca is the weapon person who gave us the ability to join classes way back when. But she didn't actually join our party until right now. I'm not really sure why they did that. But hey, so it goes. Look, if High Spirits wanted to slack, he shouldn't have let his name win the bidding war. He should have let somebody else win the bidding war. Anyways, we just skipped the level that I've been trying to skip several times, and then the next level, but unfortunately we didn't skip this level. I do love the music on this level. It is super sweet. Oh my goodness. It's actually kind of sad how much sweet music we skip in this run. We had more submissions of Dragon Quest over Final Fantasy this year. Impressive. I'm going to have to learn a Final Fantasy game in order to even the score. Never gonna... I shouldn't say things like that. I know, bro. I'm friends with Brosentia. Brosentia once volunteered to learn one video game. And... like 3 years ago, and he has never lived it down. I should learn from his mistakes and just not volunteer to do things on a public forum where people can hold me to account. Anyways, we skipped the level, we skipped the next level, and we bought new shoes. Everybody likes new shoes. Unfortunately, this kid is a little upset. He's upset because the God of Death came in and killed his parents. Understandable. God of Death also killed us, but we're fine. Yes, I do mean Kid Cool. I am definitely talking about Kid Cool, but I forgot. Anyways, so we're going to go to this Tower of Contracts to form a contract so that we can beat up the goddess. So first we have to get that Necronomicon over there from that thief. And then we just sort of march our way down the castle, walking fast, as you do. That's enough levels. Over here, talk to the god. God's just like, hey, I know that Necronomicon. I like that. I'll form a contract with you. And so now we have a contract. We also have a Necronomicon. I don't really want the Necronomicon. It's kind of a giant heavy book. Yeah, we're boss bound, not homebound. I apologize for getting that wrong. But hey, we beat the level. So now we have to go back here and bring his parents back to life. Yay! Living parents. You do not get to be Batman. I'm sorry. But he does get to join our party. Which is no longer relevant because, you know, we recruited the entire party from the first world. Anyways, now we get to do a race. So we have 30 seconds to beat her in a race. This is like the part of the game where they just start throwing every idea and the kitchen sink at the game. I love it. I love that we don't skip it. Again, we could skip this level, but it's just faster to win the race by a pretty significant margin. We just got an utter victory over Satsuki, whose name literally means, like, bloodthirsty, and she speaks in, like, very gangster-style way in Japanese. And, like, I love... She's just so much fun, and she joins our party, and I think she's, like, one of my favorite characters in the game. So I'm glad she's in our party, but she's not, like, super in our party. But, you know, she's there in high spirit. She's there in high spirit. We could put her in our party. Rides a motorcycle into battle. It's really cool. Anyways, in the meantime, we're playing DDR. If you're confused as to why we're playing DDR, that seems correct. I think you have a correct assessment of what things are confusing. But hey, we're no longer playing DDR. Now we just have to fight the boss. We're kind of a little over-leveled, but that's fine. Hey, every game needs surprise DDR. Like, are you real? Like, what sort of RPG just doesn't have a surprise rhythm game? And a live solo by our favorite goddess, who's Sakuran. I'm not sure why she's Sakuran. Anyways, that's the level. We're through. We're gonna over into this town, buy a new herb, because guess what we're skipping? That's right, it's the next level. We skipped it. We don't want to get into that fight, because that fight would take HP away. We are gonna buy that aura armor and this spear. We don't actually need the spear, but we're gonna buy the spear because because the aura armor has an HP boost, which means we no longer have max HP, which means by using the item, we actually use the item. And again, we don't want to really do that. So we buy the spear. Buying the spear is the fastest way to get our HP down to max value. What is a DDR except a QTE set to music? Wise words, wise words. Speaking of music, we're now in an auto-scroller with a beautiful song in the background. I have little to add to this auto-scroller. Because it's a 3 billion second auto-scroller. See that timer in the upper right? We have 3 billion seconds to beat this auto-scroller. We're gonna be here for a while. And you wanna know what we do when we have a while? We get to hear donations.
So, means you guys donate now if you want to hear your donation read.
All right, yeah, get donating. Like we got it. This auto scroller is pretty long. Not gonna
also
lie.
still waiting for these puns that make me groan.
Yeah, no, you are very disappointing me, chat. I really thought we'd have some just absolutely fantastic puns. I'm not good at puns myself. I will admit my weaknesses. I'm not gonna say I'm the pun master, but chat, I think you are. I think you got what it takes to make Alfina groan. Go ahead.
I'd also like to point out, if you want to get in to try to get that White Legacy 16 wired USB controller, you have until the end of this run to make at least a minimum $5 donation to be in the running to get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could also talk endlessly during this auto scroller, I suppose, or we could listen to the music. There's many excellent options. I can tell you the plot behind the music. Who's been composing a song this entire time? And there's been like a new stanza added to the song after every single level. You saw none of them because we skipped like half the levels, and the other half, the text goes so fast. Anyways, now we've gone into. So that first level was actually the final area of the second arc with Dowolff, me, as your hero. So we sort of had to stop Yashu from interfering with the final battle of that, and now we have to come over here and help Old Man Geezer, fend off, or we have to fend Yashu off from fending off. Whatever, we are going to help. We're helping. But yeah, also time's going faster. 3 billion. It's amazing how fast 3 billion seconds can go. Like, I don't know. I did the math once. It's like 100 years. We have to get our XP and HP to very specific values here. This is very important for the run. Mistranslation of that line there. There is no fighting here. There's no enemies, no fighting. Make puns about whatever you want. This is a full access punmanship.
It's full access. Your goal is to make me groan as I go to read it.
Make Alfina groan, make High Spirits groan, make me groan. There cannot be. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. That sentence would have been a mistake.
I saw where that was going. I'm like,
maybe I should.
You really want to go there?
Yeah, no. I caught the double entendre this time. We're good. Yeah, I'm literally done doing inputs on this level. This rest is just an unskippable cutscene. It's really unfortunate. If anyone can find a way to skip this cutscene, come to the next RPG Limit Break in person, and I will give you a cookie. That's all I can offer, but it will be an amazing cookie, I promise you. If you can just skip this cutscene, because that would be huge. It would give us, it would let us get the world record like sub 110. So. Semi-major barrier. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's fine. We just started getting a pun in here. From This Name is Uppercase. $20 donation with the... A tutor who tooted a flute tried to tutor two tutors to toot. Said the two to their tutor, is it harder to toot or tutor two tutors to toot?
I do like alliterations, but...
I do.
Alliterations and tongue twisters, but...
I am a theater major, though, and saying a lot of alliteration and tongue twisters is kind of how you warm up for vocals, so it's like, I know this one.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I don't know. My way of warming up is to work through tech difficulties.
Oh, gosh. I got a few more puns now, too.
Go ahead.
Softum donated $5 and said, I was going to make some pasta sauce, but there was no time. There was also from Nemi10X, Another $5 donation says a great cause and a chance to win a new controller. I'm in. Still haven't gotten that pun that just gets me, because I've made the pasta sauce time joke before, unfortunately.
Oh, I finally got
That's
it. Okay.
one out of my own pocket.
I was very slow on the uptake there. I'm just like, I don't get this. Is this supposed to be a reference to the game and that we only have 30 seconds? Yeah. There's actually like a really cool comic I saw.
There's no time in the game, so there's no time in pasta sauce.
But like there's a really cool comic out about how a day in this game is 30 seconds. And there's just someone like making an instant 2-minute instant ramen, and he has starved to death before it finishes 4 days later. I don't know. It works better in comic form, I swear.
I get it.
The good news is, we finished auto-scrolling, which means we get to go into the final arc, where we will fight Destiny itself. And we'll use the most powerful weapon imaginable to defeat Destiny, which is, first we will enter the first level. And then we're going to do something that might look dangerous at first. We're going to turn off the autosaves. And then we're going to exit the game, and then we're going to unexit the game, and we just teleport halfway through the level. So the way that works is, so whenever you when you exit from there, the game actually has quit the the game has actually just fully quit, and has therefore reassign the location of the main character to be where it needs to place it on the world map. So it'll assign new X and Y coordinates to the hero. But then we back out, so we don't actually go to the map with those X and Y coordinates. So we go to wherever those X and Y coordinates happen to be. Now, on most levels, which is to say on every other level in the game, this sends you into the middle of nowhere. Sometimes several dozen times out of bounds. It's actually kind of impressive how far out of bounds you go. On this particular level, it just happens to put you halfway through the game, exactly 2 tiles out of bounds, which lets us get back in bounds. I forgot to equip new equipment after finishing that off. But yeah, so that's what happened there. It is such a cool glitch. I love it. Anyway, yeah, so we need to re-equip some equipment now. We need to switch our party to boost all. We need to replace this character with this character. Again, this is another reason why we actually picked up Roken. That character we picked up by doing the extra level way back when. Because this is the part of the game where every single character is going to create a heroic sacrifice. And because Roken is an optional character, he doesn't. He is like literally the one exception. Well, not the one exception. There's like the other 3 characters in our party too, who are the various heroes of each act of the game. So we have High Spirits, Hercule, and Dowolff, myself. All in this party. Plus also Knight, who was a character from the first game. We never recruited Knight in the first world, but he still gets to be a party member for some reason. I'm not sure how he got here. But yeah, so we've just like put all of our wizards on these like clearly dangerous sacrificial platforms. And yeah, they got sacrificed all right. Put the F's in the chats. Put the F's in the chats. Oh shoot, I thought I got to the cutscene. Okay, so now we have to pick up the sword, and we're running a little low on time, but thankfully, if we run out of time here, we're fine. We don't game over. Not really sure why. But hey, undamaged hero. Cool. Now we can head over to the next area, which is God's Circle. So for this level, there's a bunch of statues scattered all throughout the map, and we have to defeat a bunch of them. Every one we defeat will weaken the actual boss of this level. But first, we gotta level up. Again, like, we are no longer over leveled. We are now basically appropriately leveled for this part of the game. So, but now we're level 43, which makes us over leveled. 44 is even better. So we need to defeat 4 of these statues. We're actually going to defeat the second weakest, the second strongest one. No, second weakest. I had it right the first time. First. Uh-oh. Okay, so I screwed that up completely. None of the other party members besides the main character can actually hit the final stroke against the boss, because you have to get that cool little giant slash animation to happen. It's really unfortunate that we died there, and that was bad. Anyways, this is the easiest one. Take it out last because, I don't know, that's just kind of how the grind, it's how the grind tumbles. We go to the boss and defeat him. Okay, now it's time for the final level. And you want to know what the name of the final level is? It's The Legend of Heroes. Now, an earlier runner at this marathon might have told you that there was no Legend of Heroes in this marathon. And, unfortunately, I'm sorry, he is incorrect. We are getting to the Legend of Hero right now. We've changed our class to Hero as well in order to be the ultimate hero. So, there's some cutscenes here. We're going to skip them, as is tradition. They're mini cutscenes. Not really huge cutscenes. Then we're on to the final level, which is TLOH, stands for The Legend of Hero. The Legend of Hero. You see it in big text. See, proof. We have trails in this marathon. Legend of Heroes, Trails of High Spirits. And Dowolff and Hercule. Is Hercule a reference to some other run? I'm not sure. It might have been something overnighted. I missed it. Anyways, also I love this song. Anyway, so we have to very quickly grind our way through a zillion enemies here. And there's just multiple phases. There's just a really cool map. It's just basically, can you find the appropriate grind points and grind very quickly? And we can. We have the technology. Don't really need to defeat all these angel grasshoppers, but we're going to. Wow, he actually died like strangely fast. Cool. Enemies die weirdly sometimes because of how abilities work. Yeah, I'm not going to try to explain it because I don't really get it. But sometimes enemies just die super fast. So we need to get all the way up to level 90 in order to beat the boss. It's going to be just a couple more fights. That's enough, we'll get level 90 on the way. See, we got level 90 on the way. I didn't really want to hit that giant snake there. We defeated ourselves, as is, of course, what you do in an RPG. You defeat yourself to prove that you're better than yourself, better than your old self, that you've had emotional growth over the course of a 30-hour RPG, or a 1-hour, 16-minute RPG, as the case is here. Anyway, so now we're fighting Kefka. There are 3 phases, as with, well, Kefka, I guess, had 4 phases. But hey, this Kefka has 3 phases. We're fighting him to the left and not the right, and therefore that makes this a completely original boss. So we're actually coming up on time. So there are going to be about up to 3 no-world spawns, and then a rejection of fate spawn as the enemy's special attacks with cutscenes. So that's 1 no-world, and then when the rejection of fate comes up, that is time. So 2 no-worlds, 3 no-worlds. Oh, we didn't skip any of them. And time. Right. Thank you for the GGs. Yeah, it looked like it was about 1 hour 17. I'll take it. I'll take it. Some of the skips were mean to me.
I saw 1:16:58.
Not too shabby. Yeah, so that was Half Minute Hero, the second coming. So now we get to do the fun part, which is where we find out, was the incentive met for Hero 3D?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and load the end game save, because this is an end game map. So Hero 3D hard mode, because it has to be hard mode. So how this works is we have 3 seconds, and after 3 seconds, if 3 seconds run out on the timer, we lose. We can reset time still, but we have 3 seconds as our base. Now, this is also hard mode, which means time does not stop in towns anymore. So we gotta go fast. And we're going to use 2 super cool mechanics here. Additionally, I'm going to explain now because there will be no time in the level. The first is that when you're heading to the right or up, when you defeat an enemy, you'll wind up entering the world map where that enemy was. So you'll wind up completing going to the right or up. That doesn't happen if you're going to the left or down. Excuse me, I got that backwards. It happens if you're going left or up, not right or down. The second thing is that brain. When you defeat an enemy, it takes a little while for the enemy to fall off the map, and then you like exit the battle. However, if you run away from battle, if the enemy has been defeated by your party before you finish running away from battle, they still die. So we're gonna abuse those two little things right here and do this super fast. So let's get started for Hero 3D in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. I mean 3. Now we get a new timer. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Pound. Reset time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reset time. Go in. Reset time. Reset time. We also need to buy that item there that gives us a big power boost. Woo, barely got that one off. Run. Enter. Reset. You gotta buy that. Fight that enemy. Go to the boss. And done. Woo. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'll take a 17-18. Got a little bit of bad luck with enemy spawns. But hey, we beat it. That is... Oh god, that's my favorite challenge in the entire series by far. It's so much fun. But yeah, that's it from me. Thank you for all the GGs.
I'm still processing what I just saw there.
That is fair. That's why I explained beforehand. It's pretty fast. Yeah, so anything from you?
I do have one last donation I'm going to read before we swap over to intermission. We got a donation in from Grimora for $100 going to name the character in the next run coming up. Aiden Chronicles the First Mage. They're looking to name the character Lakitika. It's the runner's name backwards. So it's basically your last chance if you want to try to snipe in and change that name real quick before we have to call it.
All right. So thanks again to High Spirits and all the rest of the staff for letting me show this off. And I don't know, take it away.
All right, we're gonna head, I think, on over to intermission, and we'll be right back with Aiden Chronicles the First Mage.
I assume that you're done then?